waffles. But I like it a lot. Today, I would like to tell you the way of living a successful life. Instead of talking about boring facts like complicated statistics, I would like to start with my own experience. When I was in middle school, I had a friend we called the God of Math. He was a genius. He usually brought this book named Integral Calculus, which was written in English, to the school. One day in the math class, the teacher gave out the exam papers. About 10 minutes later, my genius friend raised his hand and called the teacher. Then, he pointed out the error of the mathematical problem on the paper. But the teacher didn't admit to it, but my genius friend kept insisting on it. Soon after, he perfectly proved the error, and all those students in the class, including me, applauded. That day, I could feel his firm belief in his math. Well, I would like to tell you one amazing story related to the impression I felt in that math class. This is not a story about math classes, but about one guy who really wanted to be a director. As the guy really loved making films, he went to Universal Studios without any permission and found one empty office. Then, he made a nameplate of his name and attached it to the empty office. He commuted into work confidently, saying hello to the guards, pretending to be a real employee. He got close to many employees in Universal Studios and frequently snuck into the studio lot. After doing this for about a year, his real identity was revealed, and of course he was kicked out. But he was not frustrated. Rather, he planned a bolder strategy. He went to Universal Studios again to persuade the vice president to hire him. This time, he showed him films that he had made while a student. And his film was enough to impress the vice president. And he added that he had firm belief that he will succeed as a director. The guy who insisted the vice president to hire him is now the most famous film director in the world. Well, he filmed Jurassic Park, Indiana Jones, E.T., and many other historic movies. So, can you guess who he is? Yes, he is Steven Spielberg. Before I tell you another story, let me ask you some questions. Do you have a smartphone? Some people don't, but most people do like this. If someone asks me what is the icon of smartphones in the world, then I will probably answer it is the iPhone. Why? As you all might think, or as you all might know, over 90% of the success of Apple is attributed to Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs was so dogmatic that he was even kicked out of Apple. And even later, he came back to Apple. He was still dogmatic. And because of his dominating personality, he had many enemies. When other people said they have to stretch the size of the iPhone, Steve Jobs insisted on retaining its own size. And when other people said they have to, it is taking risk, Steve Jobs insisted on enabling his products to be compatible with iCloud. Steve Jobs was sure that his decisions would lead Apple to success. The unexplainable uniqueness in design, compatibility between its products, and unexplainable uniqueness made the Apple users fanatical. Let me ask you some questions. Do you think Steven Spielberg could be such a successful director if he hadn't had belief in his believe in his talent? My answer is, of course not. He had his own belief, and with his own belief, he appealed to the vice president. This process of having enough belief to insist on a job made him achieve what he wanted. And do you think Apple could be such a successful smartphone company if Steve Jobs just accepted other people's opinions? My answer is the same. Of course not. Steve Jobs, in a resolute attitude, stick to only one bottom design, own size, own shape, own length of the iPhone, and compatibility between its products. Under his decisions, Apple was able to be the trigger of revolutionary changes in communicational history. I'm not saying that you should all shut our ears and listen to others' opinion, but I'm saying that you should at least insist on your opinion if you believe your opinion is right. Looking back on my friend, the god of math, well, I think he suggests to us the way of living a successful life. Have the firm belief in your opinions. As my genius friend had belief in his math, as Steven Spielberg had belief in his talent, as Steve Jobs had belief in his decisions, if we believe in our opinions, that belief would lead us or people around us to success. Again, have the firm belief in your opinions. I have firm belief that people who believe this phrase will succeed. Thank you.